Hi, y'all. Thanks so much for coming to Goddess Garden, where you grow within and out, and you welcome peace within you, and you transmute that energy out. Today, I'm taking y'all along to do like a garden tour. I see that I think it's called Harlequin bug. It looks like it looks like a ladybug, but it's not. It will damage your brassica plants. It tends to go to the brassica plants. But I'm gonna turn you around and I'm gonna show y'all because those are not welcome in my garden, and they always do it with my plants that's going to seed. So they will literally damage my seed inventory. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm about to show y'all. But this bug will be decimated. So this is the hollow queen bug. I don't know what it's called. I don't, yeah, I think I'm saying it properly. But if I'm not, I don't care. I just know it doesn't supposed to be in my garden. And what I do, I get it before it's gonna fly. I smash them because I'm not trying to have nobody mess up my seed inventory. And this how it looks. This is how it look. No thanks. I don't spray anything. Uh, you could put diatomaceous earth on there. You could put soap and water on there. But I don't do anything. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. I haven't done anything today, but as soon as I see them, I pick them off. You could pick them off and then put them in water. I usually pick them off and stomp on them because, as you can see, this is Alabama blue, collard green. I'm not trying to have my seed inventory get messed up. I ordered this Alabama blue seed um, last October. They haven't got to me yet. I went to my local garden center. They haven't got them. So I don't know what's with the seed inventory with the Alabama blue collar, but I can honestly say this: if it get when it comes, it comes. Because now mine's is going into seed, and this is from one plant. I actually had two plants. This one right here, this one right here, and another one over there. I don't know if that one is going to make it. No, I don't know if that one is going to make it. So I'm relying on these two because of I think the aphis got to the other one, and I did blast them off too. So one thing you guys should know is about with aphids is that ants like aphids. So if you see aphids, there's an ant issue. There's ants in your soil. But one thing I could say about with the ants is that they loosen up the soil. So if you have hard clay soil, they're gonna come around and then they're gonna loosen up that soil. I don't necessarily go around decimating the ants unless that they're really aggressive. So, but if you have a aphid issue, majority of the time you got like a issue with ants. But they're not necessarily issue. Just go around, just blast them off with some water. That's it with aphids. Now, if you want to get rid of your red ants, compile one pile of red ants, the one pile, and then you get the other pile, and then you put that on top of the other one. They're gonna fight each other. Let them do what they're gonna do with each other. But let me move on, y'all. So over here, I have some carrots that's going into seed. The flowers on here, when they open up, they are really, really pretty. So I got these going into seed. Like I always say to y'all is that make sure y'all save seeds. You know, this is only for your own good. I don't even care if you have the money, but this is only for your own good because at the end of the day, is that seed, that seed distribution, meaning the person that you're getting your seeds from, they may not have that same variety of seeds that does well in your area. So you might as well save your own seeds, and those seeds that you are saving will do way better because have already grew them in your area. So save your seeds. These are scallions. that I got, aka green onions. I got these from the grocery store, and I just like literally just stick them in my I just stick them in the ground, and they just literally just start putting on more green onions. I don't pull up the whole plant. I just do a cut and come again, because I feel like that's stupid, because of all you want to do is utilize that plant, the bottom, I mean the top part, and then just toss out the what's the name, and then toss out the root. That don't make sense. So you might as well leave the root in there, and then you do a cut and come again. See, here it goes right here. Another one. I gotta get it. Over in this bed, I do have my kale and mint, cutting celery, but these things right here are my natural shade cloth. I don't buy now. I'm not gonna go and buy some shade cloth. I'm going to utilize what nature give me for natural shade cloth, which these are sunflowers. Sunflowers love the heat. They're going to shade out my brassicas. They're going to start shading out the brassicas, so therefore I could be able to pick my kale much longer than rather if they were just like in full sun. Never put a lot of things in full sun if you're in a warmer temperate climate. If you're in a warmer temperate climate, don't put things in full sun. This is a weed right here. I ain't gonna call this a weed because I don't want it in here. Oh shoot. I don't even want to get it out because I just don't want these ants on me. Make sure it ain't on me. But another way how you make sure that your brassicas doesn't get stressed or anything like that, you will heavily mulch your area. Mulch will be your best friend. Mulch it. Mulch, 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 mulch. You hear that? Mulch. Mulch, and also utilizing other plants to help that other plant that doesn't want the full sun. This is all the primrose. This is the primrose. Primrose literally spread. Is a native. These are natives. They spread everywhere. So, but they look so pretty. They look way better than grass. So I don't mind them spreading. I would like to come out and then look at these beautiful flowers than to look at some ugly ass grass that it doesn't, yeah, it just covered the soil. Over here, I have my green glaze collard greens. This one been in my garden for 2 years. She looking so pretty, even though the flies are all on her. I haven't picked her enough. Yeah, but you could tell is that the green glaze is like really shiny. The leaves are more shinier than the regular collard greens. So another thing that's going into seed is my broccoli over here. This is literally one plant. All I need to do is just let one plant go to seed, and I got a lot of seeds from broccoli. Broccoli creates a lot of seeds. As you can see, these are part of the brassica family. So this is how the seed pods will actually look. The flowers want to look a little bit different than the collard greens, but you can still tell they're in the same family. They're just going to look just a tad bit different, but they're going to create more pods. So you could tell like the florets, like this is like a broccoli, but yeah. And then it's just going to go into this part right here. And each of these little pods have about like 5 to 10 seeds in there. It have a couple of seeds. It have a lot of seeds in these little bitty pods. So there you go. I got a bunch of broccoli seeds in there. Again, I don't care whether if it's been crossed. Long as I feel like long as I'm getting broccoli, and I do save seeds from hybrids. Hybrids is not bad, y'all. Y'all gotta comprehend is that a lot of plants actually was started from hybrids. Nature creates hybrids. Just if they belong in the same genetics, they're gonna cross, pollinate, and then that's how you get a hybrid. You can create your own hybrid if you wanted to. All you do is just that if it's like heirlooms are just stabilized, and how you stabilize them, is like continually growing them for so many plant years. So that's like season after season, and then you just do your research on that, because I don't want to bore you with that. But moving on, these right here, I think this is broccoli also. I thought it was cauliflower. I think it's broccoli or cauliflower, one of them. But each of these still have pods in there, and if you do want to eat them, these are edible. They are edible. Do your due diligence on them. Over here, these are the Florida broadleaf mustard. They are so good. Honestly, they taste better than spinach. So, like, if you were in a warmer temper climate and you possibly can't grow spinach, because spinach like the cold weather, it likes cool weather, grow some Florida broadleaf mustard, or grow Carolina broadleaf mustard. Those will be able to withstand a heat just a little bit better than a regular mustard, and the leaves are really, really big. I just got done picking from this plant. I didn't pick it all. I do a cut and come again for all of the leafy greens. All right, and here, this is my in-ground bed that needs to be planted out. I got a bunch of things that need to be planted out in this bed. Bermuda grass is totally being evicted up out of this bed. I do not like Bermuda grass. I wouldn't even mind if it was the primrose growing in here, but that Bermuda grass, I do not like it. But I did go ahead and add like some, I think these are canna lilies. No, not canna lilies. There's some type of lily, some type of flower. I forgot. But I bought the bulbs from the big box though, and they're really pretty. There is a bunch of old tomatoes in here. Believe it or not, I had those tomatoes ever since 6 months, 6+ months. They didn't go old because of, I'm gonna tell y'all this: if you don't wash your produce will not go old, period. So just pick it and let it sit. Pick it and let it sit. But it all depends on, because if it's just like one of them bigger tomatoes, they will go old. They're not gonna stay stay fresh for 6+ months. They're not gonna do that. The smaller ones does, but it all depends. But it also, the color does matter too, because if it's a yellow variety, the yellow ones tend to go softer quicker. So the variety does matter too. I totally forgot. I think this one is Juliet tomato. I think those are Juliet tomatoes. And Juliet tomato, that variety actually did wonderful in the heat. Still producing, still going, still was producing in the heat. So Juliet tomato is a really good one if you're in a warmer temper climate. It don't even matter if you're not even in a warmer temper climate. It will still produce. If you're in the Midwest, up north, it may produce even better for y'all. So, but it produced very well, and at that, it held up very well for storage. So that's another one too. Over here, this is parsley. You want to make sure that you are growing herbs. Y'all gonna comprehend is that I went inside the store. I'm like, I ain't about to buy no watermelon for $8 and some cent. Warmer temper climate. I don't know how it is gonna be out there for y'all, but then a couple of days later, I was like, oh shit, $9.42. I'm gonna round it off to $10. I'm not about to be spending $10 for no watermelon. I will grow it. Give me some my seeds, give me my amendments, let me build up my soil, and I will do it myself. Period. Over here, got some Swiss chard going. This been in ground since mid to early fall, mid summer, but it was early fall. So that right there been in the ground. So if you want something that's gonna continue on producing, you get the red Swiss chard or the I think like the 4-hook Swiss chard. That's a giant Swiss chard. But in order for your stuff to get bigger, you actually have to have good soil. Now that's key. Over here, got some more collard greens. I totally forgot the variety of this one. They actually look like cabbage to me, but these are collard greens, and I totally forgot the variety for this one. But these are so pretty. It's just like they look like a bouquet of flowers the way how they growing. And I will tell y'all this is that there are so many varieties of each plant. There are so many varieties, so you could just go out there and try some different, because they may do better in your area. There are some that will they'll be able to withstand any like adversary, like a disease or or a pest. They may stand up better to a pest. So you just go out there and research what variety will work better, or you could just literally just get it and then let it and then just see what will work better. Still over here, I got like a bunch of asparagus. I don't know what to do with asparagus. I just let it grow, and I'm gonna let it grow for like fertilizer or something, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't really care too much for asparagus. Asparagus is like fertilizer to me, and that they easy to grow. Maybe I gotta figure out how to utilize asparagus, but right now they don't taste all that good to me. But like here you go, there go one right here. I could pick this one and then take it in the house and then cook it up. Cause once I let it go to this stage, they're gonna turn to this stage right here, and then start putting on flowers, and then they're gonna start putting on seeds. So when they're in this stage, this is before they going into seed. This is another bed that's been planted out, but right here, as this goes to seed, I'm just gonna cut it back once I harvest the seeds. I'm just gonna cut it back, and then I'm gonna plant something else in this area. You want to stagnate your harvest. You want to stagnate your planting, because when you taking something out, you want to put something in that spot. You do not want your soil to be bare. Other than that, if you have bare soil, then that's when the weeds, those quote unquote weeds, come in and then start taking over your area. So, and also, this is how you want to get more production. I will be having something on my Etsy page for people to learn how to actually harvest. Basically, when they want more production for their out of their garden, rather than continue on consuming at the grocery store. So it's basically be kind of like a step by step, somewhat give you more so a good idea of how to stagnate your harvest, how to stagnate your planting. So yeah, I'll have that on my Etsy page. Moving on along. Over here, more Swiss chard. And guess who wanted to pop up? And she looks so beautiful. Moringa. I did not cover this bed when the cold weather came through. I literally mulched it, and then that's it. But moringa popped up from the from the roots, but it didn't live. the tree didn't live, but the roots did. So when you thinking that a plant has died, just give it some time. Give it time, baby. Give it time. I think these are pansies. I always get petunias and pansies mixed up because they kind of look alike. Look at them. I think that's a pansy or petunia. One of them. You want to make sure you are planting some herbs in there. So I got some herbs right here and some snapdragons. Snapdragons, they're really, really pretty. Same thing with because we had a cool front, actually like a frost that came through, and it nipped those plants back. Me thinking like, oh, I'm about to get ahead, go get some plants from my local nursery because mine was they're still growing. Now they're pretty much at the same growth. So I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. This bed is looking good, but I feel like there is a lot of sparse areas. So I'm gonna plant some more stuff into this bed along with the other beds. This is just the start of the planting. So like this one is broccoli. It's broccoli, but I didn't get any seeds from there. It was going into seed. But look like you don't want to go to seed right now. I'll see. I will see. This is a Georgia collard green right here. These are Georgia collard greens. This one is the regular standard collard green. And these grow in the heat, and also these grow in a cool weather too. All right, over here, this is cilantro going into seed. And you can see the flowers on here. Those flowers turn to seeds. But if you didn't want if you want to keep on harvesting from your cilantro, you want to just start cutting them. Just harvest them. Just harvest your cilantro. That's it. Just keep on harvesting the leaves. But like I said, is that I want seeds for mine, so I just wanted to continue on going to seed. And also, once it go to seed, I just put it right back into the ground and then plant a sunflower in this area to shade it out, and then mulch it also. So yeah, I'm gonna treat that one more so like how we'll treat the brassicas, because cilantro likes the cool weather. It really, really loves the cool weather. Another one that kind of tastes like cilantro, it's called Bolivia cilantro. It's called Bolivia cilantro, but it's called papalo. That one thrives in the heat, loves the heat, doesn't mind the heat or anything like that. But cilantro, like I said, once it goes to seed, I'm just throwing it right back into the soil, and then just let it grow, because these plants do want to grow. And over here, this is a lot of herbs, a whole lot of herbs. I got some parsley, the curly parsley. I got the regular parsley. I actually have carrots. I totally forgot I had carrots in here. I know I have carrots in here that I put the bulb back in there because I want to get the seeds in there, get some seeds from the carrot. So some of them are just a little bulb, and then I just stick it right back in the soil without chopping off the green part. Could chop off the green part, but it's not necessary. So just put the top part back in there in the soil, and then cover it, and then it's just gonna grow some seeds. Let's move on along, y'all. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Let's go along. Okay, over here I got some oregano. I think this is oregano. Yeah, this is oregano. Yeah, oregano. I got some kohlrabi right here. Anytime when your leaves look like this, look this color, flip it over. Because 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10, there are going to be some aphids. And then when you start seeing ladybugs, the ladybugs is doing its job. The ladybugs is coming in eating those aphids. So these leaves look a little shaky, but those aphids is doing what it's doing. I will be harvesting. Oh, I seen a harlequin bug. I'm gonna have to kill it, because that's another thing is that they will try to damage my brassicas, and I'm not trying to have that. And I'm not trying to put diatomaceous earth down because of, yes, it will be harmful. Yes, it will actually kill off those beneficial insects too. It will actually harm those beneficial insects. So the ones I don't want in the garden, I'm gonna pick them off and stomp on them. See y'all, these are a bunch of aphids on the brassica, which is the kohlrabi on the back of the leaf. But I already know is that there's ants in this soil. Ants love aphids. I don't. So all I'm doing, I will come in and blast them off, but I'm gonna let nature have its way for now. I'm gonna come in and pick these leaves off, because these things can damage my plant. Or, yeah, it would damage the plant. Yo, these things look nasty, y'all. Look at the kohlrabi. They look pretty. And remind you, I'm literally trying to get some seeds from the kohlrabi. So whatever I planted in the ground, I would like to get seeds from there. Therefore, I don't have to keep on ordering seeds for this variety. This variety particular. It's just aphids.